Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, it's been buzzing since we saw the matchmaking show about Chris Williams II, and what is he all about? He's an interesting cast member for this season. So you're going to check out a couple of interviews and his actual store where he made history with his own franchise, but I'm not going to give away all of the details. You got to check it out. He's going to talk about his couple past relationships, dealing with C-19, if you know what I'm talking about, and a lot more of homelessness and where he came from. So if you're new here, like, comment, and subscribe, and drop comments. I kind of want to know what you think after seeing the video and taking a look at everything. So without further ado, let's jump into this video.
I'm so excited because tonight we got the keys. We are opening up our store as the owners tomorrow morning. I'm excited. The information is going to be in my bio. I'm going to take you guys on a tour of the store. Come on, follow me. Hello, everybody.
Say hello. Say hey. I'm at my cousin's Chris little gathering. Say hey, Buddha.
Everything is put away right now in the freezer to preserve the freshness, but this is where the magic happens.
Thank you for Chris and for the season of opportunity and for a season of favor. And I ask, even as you did for Jacob, where he sold in one season and in the same season received 100-fold return, I pray that level of favor upon Subway, this particular Subway even now.
I appreciate Ricardo now, you know what I'm saying? Ricardo and his wife Stephanie for being a part of this process. Mark, we just connected, but he's amazing, man of God. I appreciate you, bro. Ray, thank you so much. My cousin Steve, he's been a part of the whole process since day one. Alex Balix, you know what I'm saying? Love you. I thank my cousins, my aunt, my little new cousin, my grandparents. You guys, I thank you guys so much for coming out. I love you guys so much. Alexis, Brian, this wouldn't even be possible without them. I almost got cussed out a couple times by Alexis, but you know what I'm saying. Milan, I love Milan. I'm her biggest fan or whatnot. And then Talia, I love, this wouldn't be possible without Talia as well. And then my pastor, you know, speaking sense into me, you know what I'm saying. So I appreciate it. I love it so much. Appreciate everybody coming out. I pray everybody has success in their respective businesses and everything. This is for a new season, new beginning for everybody. Cheers. Cheers.
Many stories out there. Some are captivating. Some are just unbelievable. And this is one of them. This is a young brother that will be the youngest Subway franchise owner in Atlanta, Georgia. And he did it in a remarkable amount of time. Please welcome to the Morning Groove this morning, entrepreneur Chris Williams.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
Oh,
man. Thank you for
man.
being here. I said your story is nothing short of remarkable. A lot of people won't believe what happened, but you went from homeless
Yes, sir.
to being the youngest Subway franchise owner in the city. That's right. You heard me. Homeless to being the youngest Subway franchise owner in Atlanta, Georgia. Kind of laid down how this happened.
It started a couple years ago. So as I was telling you guys before we went live on air, I'm from the south side of Chicago, Inglewood. was born and raised there, left there, went to the east side of Chicago, moved back there late in my teen years, and grew up in the area with Derrick Rose and Chief Keef. So, you guys
It's rough.
heard stories.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's pretty rough. So I was tired of the same old crime, poverty that I was seeing on a daily basis.
So stop right there.
Yes, sir.
Why were you tired? Because a lot of people get caught in that.
Yeah.
What was it that changed you, that changed your mind, that changed your outlook?
I felt like there was more to life than what I was seeing on a daily basis, what I was seeing on the news. I felt like there was more to me. I felt like I had been put in a box through media, through people, neighbors, everything.
And I only wanted you to point that out because that's a moment that a lot of people miss.
Oh, yeah.
They think about it for a second,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
but then they go back into the regular routine. But you
Yes, sir.
chose something different.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I tell people this all the time, that a lot of times the reason why it's hard for people to become successful or to move in purpose is because they are stuck in their comfort zone.
There it is.
And a lot of times your comfort zone may not necessarily be mama's house, but it could be the city that you're living in.
Right.
That's why you see a lot of people like Kanye West or other individuals who have become successful. They go move to LA from a Chicago or from a Detroit, or they go move to New York for modeling, because the opportunities that are out there are much more plentiful as opposed to your current hometown
Situation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So
So take us back a little bit.
let's go back.
You wanna
I just wanted to
change.
go to that moment.
sir.
You
Yes,
want to
sir.
change,
Yes, sir.
and what happens next?
So I end up selling the car that I had purchased from an old lady had traded the car in. I went to my general manager and asked to buy it. So we probably owned the car for about $4,000.
Because you were working at a dealership at this time.
Yes, ma'am. So if you know anything about the car industry, when you trade in a car, you're trading it in for wholesale value, but the dealership can sell it at retail. So I had equity within the car, and I knew that. So I was due to go to finance school, but I didn't have the funds to do so because I had a conference where I'd spent like $10,000 on it. And I was just like, I'm not missing this anymore. So I took my car and I sold it. And the guy that I sold the car to, I had him drop me off at the airport that day so that I could go to Phoenix, Arizona, which is where the school was. I didn't know where I was going to stay. I didn't have any plans. I didn't have a hotel lined up. I bought my ticket at the airport. I got to Phoenix, went to the hotel, booked the hotel, and applied for a job the next day. Got hired at the largest dealership in Arizona. Sold about 1,000 cars a month.
So you got money coming in now.
Yeah.
So it was just, I needed some cash flow to re-save up to go to the school.
Right.
Long story short, I got into school. We're going from August of 2017 to the end of January 2018. This is last year. I finished the school and I had a little savings, so I spent my money flying all over the country trying to apply for different dealerships. I went to Charlotte, I went to Florida, I went to Georgia, went to Wisconsin, went back to home in Chicago. Everybody denied me because they said I didn't have experience.
Right.
Oh, wow.
There was a small dealership in South Florida, in Miami, that said, we'll take a chance on you. I'll never forget the day that I was brought in. My boss asked, why should I hire you and where did you sleep? Just randomly. And I knew leaving Chicago, because that's where I ended up going back to Chicago after Phoenix for a couple weeks. I knew that I was going to have to sleep in my car because I didn't have enough to make ends meet in Miami. So I rented a car and I told him, I said, hey, I slept in my car, last night. And the reason why you should hire me is because I don't have anything to lose and everything to gain.
Wow.
And I'm going to outwork everybody that you have in this dealership. And he
That's
said,
powerful.
when can you start?
Wow.
And I started. Now, I didn't make that much money, which is why I ended up sleeping in the car. It ended up going from 1 month to 2 months, 3 months. And I come from, we wasn't poor. But I don't think we would be considered middle class either.
Right.
So I probably could have went back home, but I wanted to figure things out.
Yeah.
My grandmother called me after I told everybody the last month that I was sleeping in the car. She said, yo, I just want to let you know that it's over. Go to the airport, pick up your ticket, you're coming home.
I already sent the ticket. It's waiting on you at the Delta counter, sir.
I said, with all due respect, I've never told her no. You know, she'd cuss you out. And I said, I love you, but I got to figure it out. I got to figure this out. Long story short, I ended up applying to 3 jobs. I ended up getting hired in Jacksonville, Columbus, Georgia, Atlanta.
Wow.
I prayed and asked God, where could I go? And I said, the city that I'll go to will be the city where I could find another job if I got fired.
Right.
I chose Atlanta.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Biggest market of the 3 cities you named.
Yes, sir.
You can work here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's how I ended up in Atlanta. And I'll never forget me moving here. I lost my girlfriend. She ended up cheating on me, found out about that. She was living in Florida.
She's probably mad right about now.
Yeah,
though.
she probably mad, but you know what? You know what?
Like,
I mean, do
hey,
you want her back
I
and
was-
not
I
to
was
be
about to
where you
say.
are?
No, I'm good,
about to
Okay,
say.
that's what I
I'm good.
thought.
God bless
Listen.
her.
That's what I thought, man.
Listen, people have their own ways of weeding themselves out of your life.
Yeah.
We'll take that blessing.
They come in
Be
your
gone.
life for a reason
Yeah.
or a season. This one may have been a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Right.
But she, that happened. So I was really, really hurt. And I'll never forget that first month. I was working 2-3 in the morning because I was like, I can't go back homeless.
Yeah.
I can't go back that way. My first month as a finance manager, I made $14,000. And it just started rolling in from there, and everything started stabilizing for me. But I'll never forget, I was at work and I was crying in the bathroom, and I was crying over what I had lost. And I just felt like God kind of reminded me, like, yo, it's not about where you were, it's about where you are
and where you're going.
Where you're
Yes, sir.
going.
So
Yeah.
that is what I have taken with me that has helped me get to where I'm at now.
So I'm trying to figure out. You
Honey.
got $14,000 in your bank account for 4 weeks of work.
Yeah.
Why you crying? I mean, that's a blessing, ain't it?
Man, so the thing is this.
It's not the. Please tell me it ain't the girl.
It was the
Please
girl.
tell me.
It was the
No.
It was the girl.
But this the thing.
That can be powerful.
This the thing.
That can be very powerful.
Yeah, this is the thing. So when we were already long distance, we had been together 2 years. So when I was in Chicago before I went to Phoenix, we were together. So when I moved to Florida, I would drive up in my car that I was sleeping in to see her. She lived like near the Orlando area. She would sleep in the car with me on some weekends.
Oh my God.
She bought me cover
Okay.
and all that.
Hey.
Yeah.
You win. You win, brother. You win.
So it's like
was a
it's-
rider.
I thought she was a rider.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
So when I found out that she cheated, because I'm thinking like, yo, I'm going to Atlanta. I'm making way for us. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna move up here. We're gonna do X, Y, Z. And when I found that out, it was like, yo,
You were
what
devastated.
do I do now?
Yeah.
Why am I working? There's no reason for me to work no more. There's no reason for me to live anymore. And what am I doing?
You were trying to. It was trying
It was
to
a
build
moment.
a
It
foundation.
was just a
It was a moment
It was
because
Yeah.
you
You're trying
came to
build
the
a foundation.
realization that
Yeah.
I'm doing this for me.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
doing this for anybody
Yes,
but
sir.
me, and I gotta love me
Right.
first.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
Before
sir.
I love anybody
Yeah.
else, it's got to
And-
be
and-
about Chris.
And then it's the stress of everything else. It's like you're doing this for not just you, but for her. You're trying to build a foundation, and you're sacrificing so much. I'm
Yeah.
sure all of that hit you heavy.
Oh, it hit me hard.
Yeah.
It hit me hard.
Hey
It hit me
man,
hard.
let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Thus far, you've listed quite a bit of hurdles.
Yes, sir.
One of
Telling
those
you.
alone to knock some people back on they behind for a good portion of their life.
Some
Yes, sir.
don't get back up at all.
Exactly. What is it that you, or have you identified what you have in you that allows you to go from being Clark Kent to Kal-El
Right. Right.
and run right through these obstacles?
It's two things, and I'm not listening in order, but I was in the military, so that was a different. I'll never forget the first few weeks my drill started because I was crying all the time. I was
Is this
baby.
basic training?
Basic training.
Yeah.
I'm crying. Just where to go? And he's like, absolutely not, Williams.
Not happening today.
I never forget. True story. I had my bags, and I was spoiled. We grew up in the hood, but I was spoiled.
Yeah.
And I had 4 bags from home. And then they gave us, no, I had 2 bags from home, and then I had another 2 big green duffel army bags that they gave us. And they told us to run to the barracks. And it was like 2-3 blocks long. And I thought that maybe if I fall out, the drill sergeant will feel sorry for me and come help me get the bag.
Nah, that's more.
So
you get more after that.
I fell out. I was like, oh. And all of the drill sergeants was yelling at other people. All of them stopped and came to me.
Yeah.
And they said, you want to quit? I said, no. They said, quit. I said, okay. So it was that, though. That strengthened me mentally. So that was the first thing. The second thing.
They said they stopped and all came to you.
They all came to me. They all came to me. They had the hats on and everything.
Standing over you.
So all of the guys, we had guys from Compton there. We all used to argue over who had the toughest city. We like Chicago, Miami was there, Detroit was there, New York guys was there. And they was like, yo, Chicago soft. Y'all crying over there. So I took a L a couple of times. But the second thing was God. And I grew up in a church going family.
Yes.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know this. I was a preacher at one point growing up. I wanted to be a pastor.
Wow.
I went to Moody
How
Bible
old are
Institute.
you?
26.
Oh my gosh, you have been here before.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always been in it. It's always been in it.
So that helped me get through this period.
Yeah.
Man.
So to
This
get
is
to this
Marine Corps.
Army.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
To get to this period. So you made $14,000. Girlfriend did the unthinkable. How do you get from that industry to Subway?
Okay, so going back to the church thing, so the conference that I told y'all I had was a church conference. And I had felt rejected by the city of Chicago. I felt like people wasn't accepting who I was. I wasn't trying to be like the regular preacher. I was trying to communicate in a way that I could articulate to people what I felt like the Bible was saying. So I was like, I'm done. I'm not preaching again. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who's pastor in my family or whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm done. So when I went to Phoenix, I partied my life. I had never been to a club. I was 25. Never been to a club, 24. Never been to a club, never drank alcohol before.
Whoa.
I did all of that.
It's like
I
went hard.
I was worse than the college kids at Arizona State University.
Whoa, boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was partying 8 days. I had to pray sometimes, like, God, don't let me go. Don't let this be 9 days straight.
Yeah.
So when I got out of that, I ended up, and we felt like growing up, it was like, club is bad. You go to hell, you go to club.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But I felt like God used that to change my life. I ended up going to a club October 21st last year. I had left my debit card here. I was in Phoenix. In Phoenix, I had a check on me, but my flight landed after the banks closed. Went to Walmart, tried to cash it. Went to the currency exchange. They wouldn't cash it. And I had to cancel my club appearance for that night because we were going to rent booths and we were going to celebrate for my birthday.
Right.
So that next day, my friend said, hey, yo, we're not going to let you go out like that. We're going to party tonight. Let's go out. I met a lady. True story. I met a lady. I thought she was attractive. We connected. I gave her my Instagram information. She gave me hers. She said, yo, you follow my cousin. I said, well, who's your cousin? She said, Ralph Diesel. I look on his page. I said, yeah, he's the youngest multi-owner of Subway franchise in North America.
Man, here it comes.
North America.
Here it comes.
This is Nipsey's childhood friend. Nipsey Hussle's childhood friend.
Wow.
Nipsey Hussle was in his store taking pictures the day they bought the store and stuff. So he got pictures of him and Nipsey from childhood, like hanging out, like, yo. They had plans to, when she connected me with him, they had plans to do music videos in Subway stores. So in LA, and they was like, yo, I got this guy, and this was after I met Ralph. It was like, I got this guy, he's in Atlanta. We feel like we can target the hip hop culture. Nipsey was like, hey, yo, I want to be to Subway what Rick Ross is to Wingstop. So that was the plan.
Wow.
So we were like, yo, hurry up, get in Subway. We're going to help you, you know what I'm saying, as far as coaching you through the process. and we're gonna get you in, and we're gonna make a big impact to to impact our culture on a positive level.
Yeah.
Nipsey passed, and I believed that they were setting it up where they was gonna allow me to meet him April 18th, because we were going to LA. April 18th, they were having an event at his spot, Vector 90. And he passed the end of March, and it just crushed us, man.
Right.
It crushed us. So it was Nipsey Hussle and his friends, Nipsey indirectly, but his friends directly, that changed my life.
The marathon continues.
Yes,
the
sir.
marathon
Yes, sir.
continues.
Yes, sir.
So are we to take out of that Nipsey was part of the funding process?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
This dude was making $14,000 a month. He funded his own self.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that he's moving around at this point to make the plan happen. So what happened? How did you come up with $250,000? That is $250,000.
So before there was ever a Subway, well, let me go back. Before I even started the process with Subway, January, in one day, I had the opportunity to raise $250,000 from investors, and the way that happened, I have a startup that we're in the process of working on. I paused it for Subway, but it was to start a digital, or it's going to be to start a digital billboard company.
Wow, wow.
And a lot of companies, I'm giving people ideas. That's okay.
That's okay, because you're still going to do your thing. I'm telling you.
So a lot of these digital billboards that you see off the expressway, and depending on the market you put it in, you can have up to 10 slideshows on there. These companies are charging about $10,000 per slide per month. So I had to formulate that and communicate that within a business plan. I had to study the business model, how to or business plan model, how to create one and all that stuff. We did it, and I created a line. I did it on a conference call. I emailed everybody the business plans, and I said, "Yo, this is how it's going to go." And everybody was like, "Yo, we're in." Yeah. And the business plan was so good, I almost had to beg people to ask questions. I was like, yo, can y'all ask questions so I can feel like I'm doing it? They was like, no,
doing some work. Yeah.
They was like, this is how much I'm giving. Somebody was like, I got 75. Somebody was like, I got 25, but I might be able to give 50. And somebody else was like, I got 50. And it just kept going on. It was like ongoing cycle. Like I was getting text messages like, yo, I'm in, this is what we're gonna do.
Wow.
So I end up, because of the process with Subway, I was like, let me finish this, and then we're gonna go back and we're gonna start, what we were working on. Yes, sir.
Okay, so next headline for Forbes in 2020, billionaire out of Atlanta makes a killing off of digital billboards and subways. My goodness.
Is like, to sum it up, like, is that the way you feel like you get the money from investors? It's a bulletproof business plan? Is that what you're telling people?
It's research, and this is what I tell people all the time. You have to know your niche. If somebody commits a murder in front of you, the police is going to take you to the station to ask you for questions. Once they finish the questionings, they're going to pair you with a sketch artist. The sketch artist is then going to be responsible for describing and drawing every part of every characteristic that
every
you
detail.
say, you saw of the person. If they say he had a hat on, he's going to have a hat. He had a beard, he's going to have a beard. So way I explain it to a lot of my students, I say, hey, yo, it's the same thing with your business plan. It has to be detailed, but you also have to communicate who your niche audience is. Because if you can, if your investors or potential or prospective investors can see what it is that you see, then they won't have a problem investing and taking a risk in what it is that what you're offering.
Right.
So was this a diverse group of people that you pulled from?
Yeah.
I mean, was it what kind of people? There athletes? Were there other business?
It was a mix. So the athletes came after Subway announcement. So once the Subway announcement came, I had a lot of professional athletes like, yo, we're trying to plan for retirement. We want to work with you on doing other stuff, you know what I'm saying, that we feel like, we could benefit from. We want to leave our kids an inheritance, but a lot of this is what they were telling me. They said a lot of us go broke after we retire.
They do. That's when they go broke.
That's what so they were like, yo, let's figure something out. So I got professional athletes that I won't name that I'm working with to create different funds for other projects.
Wow.
Like people now, and this is what I tell people, once you figure out how to pitch to investors, you will never have a problem with funding.
Yeah.
Like I have people all the time, like somebody a couple weeks ago say, yo, I just made $75,000 with Forex. I'm trying to flip it with you. What can I do? I'm like, bro, wait. Wait, bro. I don't even know you. Let's meet.
Right.
Wine and dine me first, bro.
Don't treat me like a one-night stand,
Come
player.
on, bro.
Hilarious. I love it. I love it.
You are extremely young to
Yes.
be pulling up into this lane where there's a lot of money.
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with the young lady who just raised a bunch of money in Flint? She
No,
just raised
I didn't hear that.
About $130K for water filtration products.
Yeah.
Wow.
Little young lady.
She's a
She's
little
only, what,
young
like
lady.
11, 12?
12. She's 12
Bam,
years old.
she's
Yeah.
12. You're also a young man.
Yes, sir.
Do you see your generation leaning more into being better with finances, being deeper into business in the way that you are?
Oprah said this. She said the way to defeat poverty is through knowledge. And we as individuals have to what is it, how I want to word it, we as young black individuals who are influential in our community have to take that responsibility of training our up and coming entrepreneurs on what it means to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, because that's part of your plan, right?
So-
to educate and
I've created a course. I actually stopped the course because I felt like it was getting abused. I'm big on process. So a lot of people, hey, how did you do it? What did you do? And some people, they'll see the course, hey, yo, I know you got this course, and I was selling for like $200, but we want it for free. There is a price. There was a price that I had to pay to get to where I'm at.
Yeah, of course.
Even beyond that, you cannot get nothing
for free.
Not just for free,
Yeah.
but when you try to get it for free, you devalue what it is that you're trying to get.
Right.
So we have to have a certain level of respect and reverence, not only for myself and the experiences and the wisdom I have to give, but the other individuals. And when we do that, it will help our culture move forward. So what I'm trying to do is now I'm interested in creating something like Nipsey did in LA, a Vector 90 type thing, where it's a co-working space in Inglewood. We don't have nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I want people that are entrepreneurs to be able to pay maybe like 50, 60, 70 bucks a month. Come there, you got your workspace,
Space. Yeah.
and you can be as creative as
Yeah.
you want to be. So that's what I'm looking to do.
Oh, nice. Well, look, I'll pay my $200. I need this course, man. I'm serious. Man, this is exciting. Boy, you have a movie on your hands as well.
I hope so.
Your life has been a journey.
Yeah.
So from the hood, preacher, the army, automotive industry, to entrepreneur, Subway, and beyond.
Yeah.
I hate to ask, but you named a couple of things of what you have coming up next. But what else is there?
What else?
Yeah.
Real estate is next. When you look at the portfolios of most billionaires,
The most wealthiest people
it's
in
real estate.
It's real estate. Everybody owns real estate.
I'm thinking in my mind, if I could raise whatever XYZ to do this, why not use that to flip houses?
Seriously.
So that's what we're getting ready to do. I've had real estate agents send me properties and stuff, so I got fillers out there with different pastors, different leaders and stuff that's like, yo, we want in on this. So we're getting ready to in the process of purchasing our first home to flip.
That is crazy.
Will you blend the two lanes in a Ray Kroc type of way? Start buying the real estate up under your Subway.
Make it commercial
that is
and
brilliant.
Yeah,
that is brilliant.
Top 5 things to know and do before investing in a franchise.
Top 5. That's interesting. All right. So the first thing, I have a Bible that I call. It's an electronic Bible. It's called entrepreneur.com/franchises. It shows you the top 500 franchises in the country.
Right.
They also have a quiz on there that will match your personality
With the franchise.
So that's the first one. The second one is going to be, don't mix your emotional a connection as a consumer.
Don't tie your emotions to your franchise.
Don't decide based on
emotions.
Your emotions as a consumer. With which brand you want to go with. So just because
you like it,
you like Happy Meals, doesn't mean that McDonald's is the best, process for you. So I had initially I was starstruck. I was like Subway. But then I had to sit down and say, all right, what are the strengths and the weaknesses of this, and am I willing to deal with this long term?
Right.
And when I looked at it like that, I was like, hey, I can do XYZ to help here and do this and do that, and went from there.
Not only that, the company does a lot for the community.
Oh yeah, Subway is amazing.
They are
I
amazing.
love Subway. You know, they have been outstanding to me and throughout this process or whatnot. Now, true story, I got in trouble with Subway.
How?
So when I signed
that
my
wasn't you
purchase
outside
agreement.
of the Subway with Jesse Smollett, was it?
No, it wasn't.
That wasn't you. Okay, I just want to make sure. Jesse Smollett is a true story. It was me. I was there.
No, that wasn't me.
Okay.
No, I didn't have any of it.
It did happen in Chicago.
I didn't have no ropes or nothing, man.
All right.
Y'all are crazy.
All right. So, when I signed the purchase agreement, you got to put a deposit down to hold the store. So I put the deposit down, and I went and put it on my social media, and I hadn't finished the process yet.
Oh no!
The story went viral. In one day,
instantly.
Like Black Wealth Renaissance shared it, then Angel Rich shared it, and a bunch of celebrities shared it, and they was like, "All right, this dude is it." And Subway didn't get word from it for like a week, but another guy wrote an article, and literally like 100,000 people shared it in one day.
Oh my gosh.
So I think right now it's at 300,000. This was back in April.
Whoa.
And Subway called me like, what the heck are you doing, bro?
Right.
And I was like, yo, I'm sorry. I was excited. I didn't know it was going to go out. This was for friends. And so they was like, all right, let's get this going. So I had to, we finished and finalized everything. But
it worked
I
out.
was in trouble.
It worked out.
Yeah.
So the third thing I would give to people is, wait till the deal is closed before you announce it.
Keep your stuff off social media, people.
Keep your flap shut about that flatbread.
I'm telling
Right.
you, man. Honey, I need a season-long gift card though. I love Subway. No, I'm serious. Like this is just a beautiful story all around.
It is.
And
I
one of
love
the
it.
things what's so crazy is, I have to say this. I have been told by the old owners that Missy Elliott eats at my Subway. I haven't seen her yet,
But yeah,
but she eats at my Subway is what I've been told.
That's dope.
I'm
Yeah,
sure it's
so-
true.
That's dope. Call me when
You're
she
gonna have
comes in.
Yeah, you're
My
gonna have a whole lot more.
My employees have been instructed to call me.
Yes.
If I'm on the plane, I'm gonna have a parachute
Right.
and I'm gonna jump out.
You saying that you have not seen her yet?
Not yet.
You will.
How?
Yeah.
How have you not?
You will. And
Absolutely
many more
amazing
too.
story,
and many
man.
more.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, I'm so proud of you.
Thank
like
you so much.
you're doing what you're doing. You're doing it at a high level, and you learn the process.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You sound like you have it in your back
Yes.
pocket now.
Yes, sir.
You're about to do some positive things with it.
Yes, sir.
And man, just congratulations. God bless you. And
Yes,
keep
sir.
going, Chris. Keep going, man.
I took my notes. I'm ready.
Oh,
by
we
the
saw
way,
you.
this week I'm inviting you guys to my red ribbon cutting on
coming.
Saturday
We will
at
be
3
there.
p.m.
3 o'clock Saturday.
And then also we're having a raw and uncut with Nipsey Hussle's childhood friend. He's coming out here, and we're going to
Nice.
teach people that are interested in becoming franchisees the process to do so. And
Okay.
it's free.
When
All right.
is that, when
Charge
is that
at my
going
store
on?
Friday night.
There, I'm available. I want to check this out because I need this information for myself too. So Friday, and then the ribbon cutting is on Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. And
Okay.
then we're I met the guy TORY at Sweet Lounge. He's the owner of Sweet Lounge and of Revel. So he's like giving me the green light. We're
Yeah.
going to have celebrations Sweet Lounge Friday night, and then Saturday night we're going to have a celebration at Revel. So we're
Okay.
going to be celebrating all week.
Wow.
Get it,
Okay.
man.
I'm telling you.
Once again, on the groove, youngest Subway franchise owner in the ATL.
Black Boy Magic.
Mr. Chris Williams, thank you for dropping by the groove,
Thank you so much. Oh, I got to throw my Instagram out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Instagram and the address of the store.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So my store is 3162 Johnson Ferry Road, Marietta, Georgia 30062. And my Instagram is chriswilliams.ii. So CHRISWILLIAMS.ii.
We must really like you, Chris. This is the longest interview
No,
we've
I love
ever
it.
done.
Really?
This is riveting.
It's 30 minutes.
Yeah. This is pretty long. And I'm trying to think, like, we can't cut this. Like, we
Right.
gotta,
Where we gonna cut this
we might
story? I
have to
don't
do
know.
a two-part
Normally
special.
like 8 to 10 minutes and we
Yeah.
out.
Oh, he was here. He saw how fast T.I. was.
Yeah,
He saw that.
T.I. Oh, wait. They let me meet T.I. They let me meet T.I. I'm good. I'm
That's what it's
good.
all about, baby.
Y'all can't cut that part, though.
No, man. We appreciate you, bro. God bless, man.
Mr. Chris Williams. Chris, man, welcome to the broadcast. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing well, man. Thank you so much for having me on here, man. It's an honor, man.
Definitely. Thank you so much for coming on, man. You looking all fresh and clean. Look like you got the fresh cut going on, man. I the sun and everything.
Man, trying to, man.
Say quarantine treating you okay?
Man, yeah, man. This is what's crazy, man. This is my first week off of bed rest. I've been on bed rest for 2 weeks, man. I was diagnosed with, or I tested positive for COVID-19.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So this is my first week where I'm able to actually go out and stuff.
And how have you been handling that? Like, what was your healing process for that, to have been diagnosed?
I mean, of course, they don't have a cure or vaccine that is readily available to the public. So it's just quarantine at the house for 2 weeks. So I had to do that. But it was days, man. I felt like I probably was going to die.
Your breathing you were having trouble breathing and things?
No, I actually didn't have any trouble breathing. I didn't have any trouble breathing. I didn't have any trouble with any of that. I had fevers, chills, body aches. Stuff like that, and then I couldn't taste or smell.
Wow.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I still can't taste or smell. But that, from what I'm hearing, a lot of people that did have it, they still can't. It's like on and off. So some days I can smell and taste, and some days I can't.
Okay, gotcha. Understandable. Well, again, man, I'm glad you made it through. I'm glad you're doing okay, and I'm glad that you're able to be here on this broadcast today. And I'm continuing to pray for, your healing journey, as the Holy Spirit heals you, and as you go forward and everything, man, because you out here changing the world. And so
man, trying to, man.
Man, you're not trying, you're doing so. But as I talk to the people, as I express to them, you have been blessed with the opportunity to pretty much be the youngest or one of the youngest Subway franchise owners, and you have a very powerful testimony. Pretty much where, as I call it, you went from homelessness to making history. Can you take some time and share to everyone who's watching how exactly you went from homelessness to making history?
So, started in, you a pastor, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, you know how church politics is, you got your favorite guy here, and then you got your least favorite, and then, you're going to favor this person more than that person, especially if this person, kisses up to you more than this person. So I kind of went through that, and I felt rejected, man. I was a young preacher in the south side of Chicago. Felt rejected. Had a conference in 2017. The conference was effective, but I didn't see it that way. I felt like the city rejected me as a whole. So there was an opportunity that presented itself to me to go to finance school in Phoenix, Arizona. I took the opportunity, sold my car, moved out there. I didn't know what I was going to eat. I didn't know what I was going to drink. I didn't know where I was going to stay. I didn't have the car or anything. All I knew was I had the check from the car that I sold. Got off the plane, got a hotel, went cashed the check. Then I got me a hotel, applied for a job, got hired at the largest dealership in Arizona. And the rest was history. I just worked my butt off and saved. The class was trade school, 4 weeks, $12,000. I ended up doing it. This was August of 2017. I ended up going to the class in January of 2018. Finished the class. Once I finished the class, nobody would hire me because I was entry level. And I ended up going to getting hired in
what was it, in Miami, Florida. Miami was the only dealership that would hire me as a finance manager. So once I got to Florida, I knew that I would have to sleep in the car because I didn't have a lot of money saved up. So I ended up sleeping in the car at what I thought would be 30 days, end up turning into like 5-6 months. So from February up until about May, June, I was sleeping in the car because I wasn't making enough to afford the cost of living out there. After that, I ended up getting a job making 6 figures as a finance manager in the city of Atlanta. My first month here, which was June 2018, I made about 14,000, and I just saved up, kept saving. I knew that because I was sleeping in the car at one point, because I would wash up at Planet Fitness, because I would put my clothes in the cleaners, and when I get done with the clothes after work, I'll hang it up in the back seat because I didn't want to get it wrinkled. I knew I didn't want that life again. So I said, hey, I'm going to go for a second stream of income, and I am going to buy me a Subway. I did my research, met great people who helped me throughout the process. And last summer, we purchased a store, which was 2019. So a year after being homeless, literally.
Wow, that's amazing. That's literally amazing how basically God pretty much it's just proof of the fact that God has a plan for your life, no matter who you are, what you've done, what you've been through, or whatever the case may be. And I'm not sure, exactly what your upbringing was or what it looked like, but I'm pretty sure that you probably never thought that at one point in your time, your testimony would be that you were homeless.
Yeah.
And I know that's something that a lot of people can't imagine, but what I have to identify in your story is the fact that you made a lot of faith moves that a lot of other people would not make, and you made a lot of sacrifices that a lot of people are not necessarily willing to make. And while people may want to achieve certain results, and people may want to see certain things happen in their lives, but it's proof of the matter that there are certain things that only come to us through sacrifice. And we have to sacrifice certain things in order to get to certain places. What was the conversation you had with yourself when you began to have to make those sacrifices?
I mean, I've always been ambitious. And I think the thing is with Christians, we don't know how to handle ambition. We think that ambition is demonic or ambition is not of God. But in reality, the only way that you can achieve a thing in business, especially if you're rock bottom, is if you have some level of ambition. I mean, even building a church, you got to dream big if you want to have a mega church. I mean, having a mega church should be the goal for every pastor. Being effective should be. But I mean, in reality, the only way that you're going to build something big, it's not going to be from thinking small. So I've always had that mindset, but I always was condemned and placed in a box as it pertains to church. And it's not a church bashing session. The church is the reason why I'm still alive today. God using the church is the reason. But there was certain things that has taken place that did, put me in a box or whatever. So God has he blessed me with that mentality. It was like a fearlessness that he gave me from a child. I walk to the beat of my own drum. I don't go by what everybody else does. I don't make decisions based on what everybody else does. I don't care what everybody else thinks about me. And you have to have that mentality as it pertains. You can't apologize. I don't want to go too deep in it, but I'll say this. Let me say this. I'll give some nuggets. I tell people this. Just because you are a Christian does not mean that the people that you should target in business should be Christians. And the moment you realize that, then the people that are opinionated around you that are Christians, their opinions won't matter. Now, it's good to get good sound counsel, seek get spiritual counsel. I think that it is important, for business leaders, budding entrepreneurs to have sound spiritual counsel as well as sound natural business mentors But it's important that you, at the end of the day, that you still have to be. The Bible says, "Faith without works is dead." There has to be a level of research that is done to calculate whatever risk that you're trying to take. If that makes sense.
Absolutely, that makes a lot of sense. How does it feel to be the youngest or one of the youngest Subway franchise owners?
So last year, it was announced that I was the youngest Black Subway owner in the city of Atlanta, and it was a great feeling. It was a great feeling of accomplishment. But while everybody was celebrating that accomplishment, I was already on the next thing, like trying to figure out, what I'm going to do next. Start working on, the next ventures and stuff. Like I'm in the process of flipping my first house. So we are actually. I have a couple properties that I'll be looking at over the next week or so to purchase to flip my first house.
Wow.
Where the properties that I'm looking at, you're looking at, an extra $50,000 to $100,000, per the property that, I flip or whatever. So I was already to the next thing. That's just how my mind works. But it was a feeling of accomplishment. I felt like, nobody would ever be able to take that accomplishment away from me. So
that's amazing, man. Nobody will ever be able to take that away from you. So, man, congratulations to you for being able to make that history and achieve those things and make those accomplishments. And I also see, if I understand correctly, you're also engaged, or you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the case may be, I know you often make statuses on Facebook, and I just crack up because relationships are so funny. Now, I will ask you a personal question about your relationship. As it relates to the business side of you and the entrepreneurial side of you, have you ever found yourself dating a person that did not line up with that side of you, and how did you handle that?
Yeah.
You couldn't handle your ambition or your level of faith or the fact that you were willing to sacrifice certain things.
So I had a lady, so I've had 3 relationships in my 20s. The first one was, I'm not dissing her if she's watching. I don't believe in dissing exes, but I was not prepared financially. She was advised to leave me because I wasn't financially stable. That was the first person. So the first person left me because I wasn't financially stable. The second person, I had all the time in the world for her, but I wasn't financially stable. Second person, she ended up cheating on me at the end. It devastated me. It broke my heart, whatever. But it was weird because she didn't care about the financial stability. She actually slept with me in the car a few times. Like on the weekends, I stayed in Miami. I would drive up to Orlando on the weekends, and I would go see her and then drive back 2 hours before I had to be at work. It's about 2-3 hour ride going between both cities. So she was on the weekends, she would sleep in the car with me, and I felt like she was supportive, but she didn't finish the process. And the whole thing is, one of the things that I learned as it pertains to relationships or just people in general, there are going to be certain people that God is going to allow in your life, but it doesn't mean that they're going to reach the promised land with you.
Absolutely.
You look at Moses. Let's just say you get the children of Israel. Was it ever destined for Moses to walk with the people, the children of Israel, into the promised land? God allowed him to see it. He was grateful for it. But he did not go into the promised land. Was it ever meant for him to do that? You had Joshua here, a budding leader, an emerging leader, a zealous, anointed leader. And you got Moses, we needed Moses, we needed everything that Moses did. Moses was powerful. He had the plagues. He delivered us from Egypt.
Yeah.
But he was not meant to go with the next generation to the promised land. And it's the same thing with relationships. There's certain people, they are not meant to go and celebrate with you at the promised land. And you can't apologize or feel bad about it. There are people that are seasonal and there are people of lifetime. And sometimes we have a habit of confusing the lifetime people as seasonal people and the seasonal people as lifetime people.
Wow, that's amazing. You cannot get caught up and get focused on seasonal people, and being able to identify those people in your life is really one of the most important things ever. I'm sure we all can sit up here and say that we understand and we've met some seasonal people. And a lot of times disappointment comes from not knowing the role that a person is meant to play in your life. And so you set these expectations for seasonal people or whatever, as if they're lifetime people, but they're not lifetime people. They're only meant to be there for a season and for a short amount of time. And the best way that I know how to discern the role a person plays in my life is outside of prayer and discerning. The best way that I found a way to discern whether or not a person is a seasonal person or a lifetime person is through the conversations that we have. See, people often talk about seasonal things, but lifetime people have lifetime conversations. And they have conversations that are always about advancing and getting to the next level and about the future. They're not necessarily focused on where a person is right now or what we're doing right now, but they always have a way of being able to look toward the future. I'm grateful for all of my exes because they've been great. They've been supportive. And while we went our separate ways for other reasons and other things, that we still have been able to maintain friendships and maintain communications with each other. Now, do I have some exes where we don't talk anymore at all? Absolutely. But again, it's all based off of your level, your ability to discern, and the conversation that you have with the people that you find yourself involved with, even on a friendship level or on a business level. Some people do small business deals with you. Some people do very large business deals with you. And you've got to be able to categorize these people because that's how you can easily navigate the road to success and how you can walk that path of destiny and get to the purpose that God has called you to. Chris, I think that people are encouraged and are inspired by your testimony and the things that you shared today.